Hello there YouTube, it's your boy B3 back with another kicking action figure review. Today we have a figure that is currently for sale in my store. Check out the links down below. It is the Hasbro Iron Man 2 Concept Series Ultimate Armor Iron Man. Yes, it is actually the MCU Mark IV Iron Man suit from the beginning of Iron Man 2, but it's been painted up like the OG Ultimate Comics Iron Man armor, which is very interesting, which makes it a concept. It's kind of a fusion between comic and movie armor. It's very interesting. But later, I believe the MCU would have a Spider-Man armor based on the colors of the Ultimate armor. I think that was the Homecoming armor, whatever mark that was. Who can remember, you know? But yeah, it's a really cool figure. The Iron Man 2 3 3/4 inch line is actually my favorite 3 3/4 inch toy line of all time. It was incredible, ahead of its time still to this day, because 3 3/4 inch figures, especially ones for kids, are kind of junk now. I mean, there are some good adult collectible ones, but not really mass ones, you know? You don't really see the adult collectible ones around a lot these days. But yeah, he is a very cool figure. As I said, he is largely a repaint of the Mark IV armor. He does have different hands, though. His hands are different. I actually already packaged up my Mark IV and put it in my store. That one is in the physical store, I believe, not the online store. This guy I don't know yet. So yeah, I don't have him here to show. But if you go watch his review, which I did relatively recently, you'll see them both next to each other. Anyway, let's get a closer look at him. Detail and paint-wise, he's pretty good. This amount of detail on a 3 3/4 inch figure, especially one for kids, is really insane. Look at the sculpting in the joints to make them look more mechanical. That's above and beyond. Even on an adult collectible, that's above and beyond. That's incredible stuff. He's got a little flight stand kind of accessory peg hole in the back. He has peg holes on the bottom of his feet, which are painted. The repulsors aren't painted, sadly. Some of the ones in this line are on the bottom of the feet, which is very impressive. The repulsors on the hands are painted, even the closed fist, which is impressive. A lot of metallic and glossy paints all over him. See, they tried to do his arc reactor so it looked like it's glowing. Really, really cool. I actually really love the paint job and the sculpt. Articulation is really good, but there are some sore spots, like his head does not go up. And when you turn his head, you can see that he's not fully painted under the neck. Like, you're going to do all these other little things with paint, but you're not going to do that. Also, that is painted sloppily. So yeah, that's a bummer. That his head can't look up anyway. And it's like a character who flies should have a head that looks up far to get him in good flying poses. I wholeheartedly believe that these movie armor Iron Mans just can't look up. The advanced armor Iron Man and the Arctic Armor Iron Man from the comic series can look up. I've reviewed both of them. But this guy can't. It's the movies. It's an issue with the movie series armors. You have up and down on the arms, pretty good. Nice rotation. Elbow bend and swivel. Good. Wish it went a little farther, but that's alright. You have a rotation on the wrist. Great torso movement. Really helps you get that flying pose that the neck isn't helping with, because it does go up pretty far. You have in and out on the legs. You can do forward and back if you turn the joints. See, it's not the best kicking back, because it has to kick out to the side because of his hard plastic bussy, but it's better than you would expect. So there is kind of a thigh swivelly kind of thing going on up there as well. Double knee bend. Look at the sculpting inside of it. That's so cool. Great double knee bend. And then just the way the movie armors are designed with the flaps on the feet do hinder articulation a little. Like the up and down is a little hindered by the back there, and the side to side is very hindered. You can kind of push it past because it is a softer plastic, but it'll warp and look weird. Not my favorite articulation, but a lot better than a lot of 3 3/4 inch stuff we get nowadays. So now let's get into accessories. Now, the Iron Man 2 line came with a lot of accessories. They all came with this stand and a set of armor cards. So you would put the stand down, and he, of course, pegs into it, you know, just fine. But also you would have the torso armor card, head and arms, and the leggies, which formed you a nice little armor stat block thing here. Now, this was really cool because they go into the stand. I didn't take most of mine out of the plastic sleeve they came in, but I did for this guy. So you can see his armor cards all go into these slots, and then you can display him right with the cards, which makes for a pretty cool like Hall of Armors display if you have them all together. I used to have mine displayed like that. It was really cool. God, I'm gonna miss these toys. I really just am. He also comes with a missile launcher, which the Mark IV did as well. This is the same missile launcher, just painted in the Ultimate colors. And the Mark IV's missile was like kind of a metal missile, like you'd shoot at a tank. And then this one is blue, which leads me to believe it's supposed to be kind of more like repulsor energy, but it's still sculpted like the missile. It doesn't really care, or it doesn't really matter. I don't really care. It launches just fine, stays in all right. It's kind of a sensitive trigger, as you can clearly see. Kind of a miracle I've kept up with it all these years, you know? Oh, and you see it clamps right on either arm. I prefer to put it on the closed fist. I feel like that makes more sense. But yeah, it's pretty cool. I wish it had some more metallic paint on it so it would match him better. This is sculpted in silver instead of painted like the silver and gunmetal and stuff. But the reds match much better. They look better in person than they do on camera. Sometimes the camera can bring out the colors a little differently. But yeah, I think it's neat. Now let's get into some size comparisons. First up, we have to compare him with his own line, because at the end of the day, it only matters that he scales with his own line. So here on the left is the Iron Man 2 movie series Air Assault drone. It's kind of like the Air Force drone. That was built by Hammer and Whiplash. Yeah, that looks really cool. Big, imposing drone. Really like it. Then on the right is another 3 3/4 inch line that was more of an adult collectible line that came out around the same time as this. The Marvel Universe line with the Marvel Universe Scarlet Spider. At the time of recording this, I don't think I have recorded a review for the drone, but I have for the Scarlet Spider. And all 3 of these figures will be in my store for sale. And before we wrap things up, I want to show him with a 6-inch Marvel Legends figure. This is the second version of the Kane Scarlet Spider figure from Hasbro Marvel Legends. I believe it was the SPDR Build-A-Figure wave. Here next to our Ultimate Armor Iron Man. And yeah, obviously it doesn't work. This could maybe be some weird little drone that Iron Man sends out to spy on Scarlet Spider because he doesn't trust him. Don't trust those clones, even though I cloned Thor. Sort of. But yeah, if you're the type of person that doesn't care about scale and you just put all your figures of the same like theme together and screw the scale, this is for you. But otherwise, just to give you an idea. So all in all, what are my final thoughts on the Hasbro Marvel Iron Man 2 concept series Ultimate Armor Iron Man? I actually really like him. I think the Mark IV looks good in the Ultimate colors, and clearly Hasbro did too. They went a little farther to make him a little different than the Mark IV than you would expect, with the new hands and even the newly painted accessories. Even though I think he comes with 1 missile less, I feel like. Once again, my Mark IV is now in my store, so I can't, like, look at him. But you can check out my Mark IV review. The armor cards were a really cool touch for this line. It came with a lot of accessories, had a lot of great paint and articulation that you really don't even see in 3 3/4 inch stuff to this day. The Iron Man 2 3 3/4 inch line is my favorite 3 3/4 inch toy line of all time. And he scales well with his own line, which is great. I hate to be getting rid of this guy, but as I said, you know, living in Atlanta is expensive, and to buy a figure, I have to sell a figure. And you know, this fella wants more dinosaurs and Godzillas, and there actually are a couple Iron Man figures I would like to have that are 6-inch. So, that is it. Once again, if you want this figure, check out the links to my store down below. Please remember to rate, comment, subscribe. Check out all the other cool links that aren't my store. I've got socials and stuff. And I'll see you all next time. Bye for now.